I'm not seeking penance for what I've done, Father. I'm asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with Christopher Johnson, attorney at law.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
And we're switching it up. Instead of DC, we're back to Marvel.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a little while.
Since last year.
Yeah.
The Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
And the X-Men stuff.
Never again are we doing a marathon that long. Never again. That was ridiculous.
Never say never.
Or we better time it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to get back to, something a bit more smaller, but something I feel as though definitely deserves to be discussed. And that would be the Daredevil series.
Yeah.
And this one is going to be rather unique. But before we get into that, why don't I go ahead and get into the character proper, so you all can get a bit more understanding and backstory.
After you.
Okay. Daredevil is a superhero created by writer-editor Stan Lee and artist Bill Everett, with some input from artist Jack Kirby, that appears in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. His first appearance was in the self-titled Daredevil #1 in April 1964. Daredevil also appears in movies, television shows, and video games set in the Marvel Universe. Daredevil is the alias of Matt Murdock, a lawyer blinded in childhood in a chemical accident that gave him special abilities.
And introduce the Ninja Turtles, possibly.
Yeah, things get weird. While growing up in New York City's Hell's Kitchen, a crime-ridden working-class neighborhood, Murdock pushes a man from the path of an oncoming truck and is blinded by a radioactive substance that falls from the vehicle. Potentially the ooze. Mm-hmm. His exposure to the radioactive material heightens his remaining senses beyond normal human ability and gives him a radar sense. His father, a boxer named Jack Murdock, is a single man raising his now blind son to form a better life for himself. Jack is killed by gangsters after refusing to throw a fight, leaving Matt an orphan. He hones his physical abilities and superhuman senses under the tutelage of a mysterious blind stranger named Stick, eventually becoming a highly skilled and expert martial artist. Some years later, after graduating from Columbia Law School, Murdock seeks out the criminal element in Hell's Kitchen and begins to fight crime. He targets the local gangsters who murdered his father and succeeds in bringing them to justice. Eventually, in ironic contrast to his Catholic upbringing and beliefs, Matt dons a costumed attire modeled after a devil and takes up a dual life of fighting against the criminal underworld in the streets of New York New York City as the masked vigilante Daredevil, and in the courtroom as a skilled and respected lawyer who forms the law firm Nelson and Murdoch with his best friend and fellow lawyer Franklin Foggy Nelson. We'll get into a bit more of the other stuff in a little bit, but what was your introduction to Daredevil?
The Spider-Man animated series from the 90s.
Oh.
Yep. That two-parter where Peter was framed. And Daredevil, Matt Murdock is his attorney, and also as Daredevil tries to help prove Peter's innocence, while also fighting Spider-Man, who was also set up by the Chameleon.
Well, for me, while in a weird way I kind of always knew of Daredevil, my first true exposure of him as a character was the Ben Affleck movie. Yeah. I was young. I was dumb. I didn't realize what I was watching. I knew there were definitely some things I was like, well, wait a minute, that's not right. Wait a minute, that's not right. But, what can I say? What can I say? But, yes, I grew to also watch him from the Spider-Man animated series. And, weirdly enough, when he appeared in one of the television movies that were made during the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk series.
I still haven't seen that one.
Oh, you have not seen Trial of the Incredible Hulk?
Not with David Banner now.
Have you watched any of the Incredible Hulk?
Maybe as a kid.
With Bill Bixby?
Maybe as a kid, but I don't remember watching it.
Wow.
It's been years since I've watched it, so.
Wow. You missing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Another review for another day.
Yes. Well, get a bit more into this. Mm-hmm. Signature weapon. Daredevil has a signature weapon in a billy club that contains a 60-foot aircraft control cable connected to a case-hardened steel grappling hook. The handle can be straightened for use when throwing. The club can also be split into two parts, one of which has as a fighting baton, the other of which ends in a curved hook. So he can essentially use this thing to grapple through New York City, land, and then start beating you down with it, or making it into two batons like excrement sticks and start beating you down. How they came up with that is just genius. Mm-hmm. I love that thing. Love interests. Matt has had several romantic interests, including his co-worker, Karen Page, who he has had the longest relationship with, Electronachios, a fearsome ninja assassin and on-again, off-again girlfriend, Heather Glenn, a rich socialite or personal therapist, Maya Lopez, a.k.a. Echo, a deaf woman and skilled martial artist. Mila Donovan, a woman who's also blind. And expert assassin and member of the Avengers, Natasha Romanoff, a.k.a. Black Widow, who Matt also had a long relationship with and even lived together with her for some time. He left Hell's Kitchen and moved to San Francisco with her. Yeah, that was a period of time in the comics. I guess I should also acknowledge Typhoid Mary, even though it was a very short, thing. They did have a little thing, but she's been mainly more of a villain. Allies. Matt has a number of allies that help him either on a regular basis or occasionally. Regular allies include his best friend and law partner, Franklin Foggy Nelson, and investigative reporter for the Daily Bugle, Ben Urich. Occasional or recurring allies that Matt teams up with include Spider-Man, who Matt even defended legally, Danny Rand, a.k.a. Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and the anti-hero, Frank Castle, a.k.a. The Punisher. And interestingly enough, when Daredevil has teamed up with Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, they would team up as a group and either be known as the Defenders or the Heroes for Hire. Enemies. While Daredevil has run-ins with various villains that mainly fight Spider-Man, Daredevil has a good number of enemies that he has battled with, including his former girlfriend, Elektra Natchios, the secret organization, The Hand, Leland Owlsley, a.k.a. The Owl, Frank Simpson, a.k.a. Nuke, the Purple Man, Zebediah Kilgrave, Typhoid Mary, mutant-powered serial killer Muse, and his main arch enemies, psychotic assassin Bullseye, and Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. the Kingpin. Now, should I get into some of the noteworthy authors?
Yeah.
Okay. There have been a number of authors that have helped contribute to, Daredevil, whether it be character-wise, story-wise, or just overall presentation. Back in the 1970s, there was Marv Wolfman, who was the co-creator of Bullseye. Jerry Conway, who moved Daredevil to San Francisco and started his long-term relationship with Black Widow. Roger McKenzie, who started to write the Daredevil comics in a darker tone and was the creator of Ben Urich. Then the really big contributor to Daredevil, Frank Miller. The prominent writer of Daredevil during the 80s that gave the character his darker film noir and ninja aesthetic. He was the creator of Elektra and The Hand, and made Bullseye and Kingpin his main antagonists. He also wrote two of Daredevil's most iconic series, Daredevil Born Again and Daredevil The Man Without Fear. Then there was Ann Nocenti. She wrote Daredevil in tackling left-wing issues like feminism, addiction, animal rights. And she was the creator of Typhoid Mary And she was the one that actually started the idea of Matt Murdock being the drifter in New York City. Mm-hmm. You know, him just getting rid of everything that was him as Matt Murdock. And him just, you know, drifting around trying to find the next thing to then don the whole costume of Daredevil and deal with the issue. And then the late 90s, though he may be controversial now, Kevin Smith, as he was the writer of the iconic story Guardian Devil. And of course, there have been a number of actors who have played Daredevil, including Rex Smith, who played Matt Murdock and Daredevil in The Trial of the Incredible Hulk in 1989. One of the 3 TV movies that were made for the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk series. Ben Affleck from 2003's Daredevil. And our current Daredevil, Charlie Cox, who's been playing Daredevil since 2015 in both Netflix's series Marvel's Daredevil and now the Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again.
And give us your thoughts by finding us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
You can also find us on Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, and Lemonade.
And make sure to like our YouTube channel, like, comment, share our videos, and definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel if you just found us.
Yes, as we're on the road to 500 subscribers. Once we reach that, monetization, massive overhaul of our presentation, start a Patreon where through your donations we'll make exclusive videos just for Patreon and also make some reviews based off of viewer requests.
But before we go, we're here to discuss all 3 Netflix Daredevil seasons and the Daredevil Born Again with this marathon.
Yes, as we have to show this show it some respect, give it its flowers, and also, you know, get the opportunity to discuss the new series.
Yeah. So we're discussing the very first season.
Yeah.
Start us off. So, want to roll us out?
Sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and click the post notification bell so you're updated with all of our upcoming videos. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.